go to your services, and because we are into the security tab, you can either click on guard duty over here, or you can just go and search for guard duty. uh, and guard duty should be enabled for you. So right now I have the findings inside AP South 1, and if in case there is any issue inside your AWS account or inside your resources, it will start to show up over here. So CloudTrail, the VPC flow logs, DNS logs, and the S3 data events. So whatever are the top trending buckets that I have, it's all shown up over here. So that's how GuardDuty actually looks like. And let's go and have a look at the list and how to actually go and add them. So right now, if you want to suppress any finding, you can just click on suppress the findings, and you can give the name and the description for the things that you want to suppress. So guard duty won't be showing those current findings to you. So in case you have any, it will start to show up over here. Let's go to VPC first, so that we can understand what is guard duty actually monitoring like. So we had seen something as a flow log in our case. So guard duty is going and monitoring your flow logs. So flow log actually is the log of the data that is incoming and outgoing from your VPC network. For instance, you have your VPC over here, and if you click on flow logs, and you just have to click on create flow logs, and what type of traffic you want based on if you want to put it inside your log group, and if you have your role. So you can aggregate it for 10 minutes or 1 minute. You can either send it to a S3 bucket or to a CloudWatch log. So if you're choosing S3 bucket, you just have to give the ARN of that bucket. And if this is created, your VPC logs will be continuously sent to the endpoint that you have selected, which can either be a log destination or it can be a S3 bucket. So this is your flow log that you saw inside your network. So flow logs can be done at your VPC level. It can also happen at your subnet level. The concept remains the same. You can aggregate it for 10 minutes or 1 minute based on accept, rejected, or all traffic. Based on the log destination or based on the S3 bucket, you can actually go and create the flow log. So your guard duty actually goes and looks into the flow log. So even if you haven't done anything, no worries, it's automatically going to go and look at the flow logs and advise you based on any findings that it gets. So that's the guard duty for you. And then let's go back to our guard duty and understand the IP addresses, that if I want to go and enable certain IP addresses or disable, how can I do that? So in this case, you see something as, first of all, you see the S3 protection. So S3 protection is enabled for this. The reason is guard duty is enabled. So any problem inside your S3 account or S3 buckets, it's automatically going to show you inside your S3 protection here. You can also go and put it at the account level. So in this case, you can go and give the account ID and the mail ID. So in this case, these people will also have access to your guard duty. As with other security services of AWS, you can also go and upload your CSV file, which has to be the account ID and the email address, which has to be comma separated. So this remains the same across all the services of AWS. Uh, List is an interesting thing, because in this you can go and give the list of the IP address that you want to, that you are trusting, and more than that, the list of the IP address that you want to give for the malicious IPs. So let's get started with that right now. So as you can see, I'll just go and create a IP list for which I want to allow. So I want to go and get my IP address list here. So my IP address, and you see the public IP. So you are allowing this public IP. Alternatively, you can go and allow, let's say, 118.119 and so on. So once that is done, you go and save this first of all. So let's save it inside, let's say, valid IP underscore guard duty.txt. So once that is done, now if you go back, you see that you have to go and add a list. So you have two options. Either you can click on the edit I button here and you can give the IPs over here, or if you already have it, then you will have to go and remove it and you will have to add the list again. So you cannot directly go and upload it in this case. What you have to do is you have to go and place it inside your S3 bucket. So for that reason, we'll go and start with the S3 service first of all. Go inside S3 and create a bucket of your choice. I'll go and name it something like guard duty hyphen valid IP address. So let's click on create bucket and call the bucket as guard duty hyphen valid IP address hyphen Ankit. Just remember that this bucket name should be unique or else it won't work. So after that, you click on create bucket here. And once the bucket is created, you can sort it based on the creation date here. So once that is done, you can just go and upload your item over here. So let's do that. So I'll just go and drag and drop my file here. And once it is all done, click on upload. And once it is uploaded, you can click on the close button. The important thing is to get the address. So you can either copy the URI from here or you can just copy this URI. So if everything is good, you can go back to your guard duty and go to your list for IP address that you want to add. Add the trust IP list. Let's call it as valid IP address and give the location and tell the type of file that you are seeing. So right now it's a plain text file and click on I agree and add list. Now, if everything is good, guard duty is going to save it for you. To make it active, just click here and this list is active. So in this case, if any findings are reported from this particular IP, it is going to tell you that. Now, by that same logic, you can also go and add it to the threat list over there. So let's remove this for now and go and add it into the threat list over here. So this I saved it as guard duty. Let's go and copy this and save it inside the threat list. So let's call it as now this is inside the threat list. Again, you'll have to go into the same thing. So go to your S3 and go and create a bucket. Now, because I already have the bucket with me, the only thing I'll do is I'll go inside the bucket and directly upload my data or my file over there. So there are two ways of doing the same thing. You're free to choose any one of them. So in this case, I'll also go and give my threat list over there to guard duty. So once it's done, just click on upload. And once that's done, you go and get your threat list and just copy the address over here, object URL, and you can go to your guard duty back and we will add this list inside the threat list now. So by going to list and you can add the list here. So give a name like let's say threat list and give the name and say that it's a plain text file and I agree and click on add list. So once that's done, it will show up over here, but still you will have to go and make it active. So that's how you can go and make the list active. Please remember in this case, inside your guard duty, you should avoid adding the IPs both in the threat list and as well as the trusted IP list. Secondly, whenever you are adding the IP addresses, please keep in mind that if you add something to threat IP, it will start to show up inside your findings. And there are certain cases where you go and want to block certain IPs. So certain IPs, what we mean by that is it can be also be a range of the IP addresses. So let's say that you want to block a specific country from accessing your AWS account. That can be done at multiple layers. It can be done at your ACL level. If you want to stop from the security group, you can do it via the security group. You can go to your route 53 and you can block it there also. You can go to your CloudFront and you can stop it from there also. These all methods are already discussed inside the lab video, so you might want to go and have a look at it. Then coming back to our threat list, let's say that you have some specific 10 IPs which you know are DOS, they are doing a DOS attack or a DDoS attack on your machine. In that case, you can add it to the threat list over here. It takes up to 5 minutes for it to reflect, but then these IPs are going to be blocked from accessing your AWS account or accessing any service for that sake. So that's guard duty for you. Remember that guard duty is available in almost all the region except Osaka, which happens to be the newest data center inside AWS. So except that it's available in all the regions, also it is a region specific thing. So that's your guard duty. So let's go back to our guard duty now that it has already been 5 minutes since we went and we activated our guard duty protection. So let's go and have a look at our list to see, because if you remember, we gave the file URL over here and this IP actually had our IP address, my local IP, which we had reported as the threat list. So let's have a look at that. So let's go to S3 first of all to confirm that the IP is indeed my IP, which I am logging from. And once done, we will go and see the findings where we should start to see that AWS will start to tell me that indeed there are certain findings or some security issues in my machine. So let's click over there and I see the threat list underscore guard duty. Now, please remember, if you open this as it is, it's not going to show you. The reason is this is a private bucket and a private object, so it's not going to show like this, and that is what you want to do also or see also. Okay, the size of this object, by the way, is 15 bytes. You can have a list up to 35 MB of file, and there you can have maximum of 2000 IP addresses in one single trusted IP list, and you can have total of 250,000 IPs in a single threat list. So just remember the count. I don't think that you are ever going to hit that big count, but just in case you are, the maximum list is 2000 in one trusted IP list, and in total you need to have 250,000 IP addresses. That's it. And the size of your file should be around or less than 35 MB. This 15 byte is perfectly fine for AWS at the moment. So I have my bucket over here where I have my valid IPs, which I had given. Again, opening this is not going to give me anything. And the reason for that, we know this happens to be a private bucket. So let's go back to my bucket list, and I'm not looking at the valid IP guard duty. Rather, I'm more interested in the one which I blocked inside the threat list. So let's have a look at threat list, and you cannot open it from here, but because you are the owner, you can always click on object action, click on open, and you can see. So that's the IP that I have actually blocked. Now let's go and have a look at my IP address, which is 122.167.85.117. The same IP is present in the list, which means if everything at the moment is proper, I should see my machine being generating events in guard duty, because I have added myself in the list for the threat IPs. So let's go back to our guard duty, wherein I should be seeing certain events being triggered now. So if you go to findings, you can see automatically a few seconds ago, few seconds. So this one, the root credential was available and it was done for this particular account ID. The severity is there, the region is there, it has been accessed 7 times. It was last seen over here and it is seen over here. And this is done by this remote IP, which happens to be this over here. So if you click on the expand one, it is going to show you that indeed this person or this malicious IP is trying to get. So this is a high priority event. Obviously, you can investigate it with detective. We are going to talk about detective in upcoming presentation, so we'll talk about that. For now, just have a look at the IP. So it is telling you that Bengaluru, and based on the latitude and the longitude and the location, it is telling you that yes, this person is trying to log in into your account. So this is how you can go and understand that what and who is trying to log into your services, and provided if you have added them inside your list over here. So the entire thing, from what Airtel or from what ISP you have taken the internet, what's the ASN, what's the lat long, what's the IP and the location and all the things. So if in case you need to block certain IPs, or certain list, you can go and take help from here. Now if you want, you can click over there, you can select that and you can click on suppress and you can give the name and description. But because I had only created the event like that, so that is why it shows up like this. So last seen, whenever you are clicking anywhere outside, it's going to show you that. Okay, so these are the events that we want to see inside guard duty. For now, let's go and remove the my list from the threat list at the moment. Let's make it inactive by clicking here and then remove it by clicking on this tab over here. So that's threat list is gone, and now I will start to see less number of events over here. Okay, so that's a guard list for you. And using this, as you can see, you can go and add few IPs. Now if the same thing I go and add it to my list over here, trusted IP list, I can see that now S3 protection is enabled. So if in case I have an issue with my S3 bucket, it's going to show up over there. Now my usage over here is going to show me the buckets over here: bucket, guard duty, CloudTrail, and the buckets whatever I have. Now these buckets and all the data inside the bucket is going to show up over here based on the most bucket which I have used and the bucket which is being used the most. So it will show up over there. Now if you see, uh, almost all the policies that I had at that point of time is gone. The findings that I had is gone because now I have disabled the action. So that's why. And based on the filter over here, you can also have a look at the severity, that how much you want to add. Now removing that is going to show you all the findings that were triggered some time back. Now remember, by this point of time I have already disabled the list over here. Okay, if you want to remove, you can just go and remove this list again. It might take some time in removing the findings, but that is how it works. So over here, 4 minutes ago, 19 and 20 minutes ago, where we added the IP address, it's all showing up over there. And it is also saying that this person tried to go and access this bucket. So this is the bucket where we had gone and enabled our list for the threat IPs. So that's what it is telling along with the count. So anything with high is this that you did on S3, and you can also make it based on the low or based on the medium priority events. So that's how guard duty works in real time. Remember, inside the previous service that we were working about, that also uses guard duty. So this is guard duty, and you can go and add the IPs, or you can have protection for S3 in these services. So that's it in guard duty, and we will proceed to the quiz part now, and I'll see you after the test.